All right, this is Jim Crack, and today is July 13th, 2025. Yesterday, I did not record an update video, neither did I do that on the 12th or the 11th, and here's why. My Cleveland Clinic appointments ended on the 10th, and my flight was supposed to take off at about 5, and about 10:30, they finally told us that it was going to be canceled due to weather in Chicago. So for the first time in my life, I got to book a hotel in the town that I was staying in or flying out of and stay an extra night. And let's just say those were some very difficult days. Uh, I'm not going to go into everything going on during my body during this week, but I could tell you that every day this week there has been, a lot of stuff going on. And so I didn't get back until Friday, the 11th. And that was about noon, and still was having various symptoms and pains. And then yesterday was the 12th, it was Saturday, and I can tell you that I had pains ranging from deep pain in my right arm to foot cramping to just all types of abdominal pains. And in various places at different times. And yes, I still ate because that's what you do. And any one of these probably would have freaked somebody out. I iced my arm and just kept moving my foot. I went to karaoke. I grilled out. I did my laundry. I did all the normal stuff that a person should do because that's what you do. That's normal, and you don't have any choice because it doesn't matter if your blood tests say you shouldn't be walking around. Uh, you're walking around, so you get it done. Uh, anyway, and then there's today. Uh, today, so I laid down for the first time last night. I slept sitting up all week. It's a thing. Sorry, it's kind of a preservation condition that was taught in the article. And it works, except when you do start when you do fall asleep, your heart starts racing, and you get this kind of vibrating feeling. But last night I'm home, and I finally decided it's time to lay down in my bed. And when it hit about 2 a.m., I just stayed in bed. And it this morning, I had some of that vibrating going on, and I just stayed in bed and got up about 8:30 or something like that, and made my eggs. And I don't have any pains today, zero, no pains. Well, it's very difficult to explain because I can tell you yesterday there were so many pains but that's the whole point here is this hysteresis thing. It progresses, and then you have some period of transition, and then it progresses in a different way. And so I'm pretty sure last night by me lying down, this is a pituitary type thing, and so it kind of, yeah, I think it is now, and so this will be scheduled for later because this is all getting to be kind of in phase stuff. But I think it is now basically kind of in a blow-off stage where by laying down the ketones, we're able to circulate better, and it doesn't have as much pressure from the heart pulling and everything. And I think the ketones got to it and basically said, okay, you got to go full mode. I don't know. Uh, but because other things started working that had not been working as well, I'll just say. And uh, I feel pretty normal. The one thing I would say about my state of mind right now is I'm rather lightheaded and kind of dizzy, not in a drunk kind of way, but not in a drunk kind of way. Yeah, that's difficult to understand. Lightheaded. Uh, you know, it actually seems kind of like, just doing that has an impact on the feeling. But I've eaten today, and we're going to Superman tonight, and karaoke was a blast last night, even though I had the foot cramps and everything else going on. And I'm just here trying to document the process. I think at this point, I've posted some new stuff to the website and I got a couple of new chapters out there. Yesterday, one was really important, I think. And then today I've put some, well, I extended on the co-evolutionary process. And I do want to comment on this. And I started talking about this in my videos on my personal channel, I don't know, over a year ago, I'm sure. And here's the thing, folks, is that every one of these steps is too well matched. It's perfect. It's a linear process. And we're talking very complicated steps, like going after the gallbladder like it did in March. And each one of the little steps this week is like always happens in that order with all the subjects. They all went through these exact same steps. And so that is programming. I think you need to realize that is gate logic. That is if-then statements. That is the biochemical computer. That is candidiasis albicans. And it's targeted. And so here's the real deal about that is that it's targeted at my design, okay? And it's targeted to try to get your design like my design, because my design is the one where it gets to live the longest. And that's the whole goal of candidiasis. It just wants to live and consume ATP. And so the best way for it to do that is to find a compromised host that it can stay in and continue in. Yeah, so that means your immune system has to be compromised and your heart has to be in the right function. And it can literally force your heart in that function almost by causing you to go into SIADH. I really think that it is the cause of my SIADH. So if you look at it like that and you look at the whole thing, you have to say, well, that's a co-evolutionary process. Okay. And so then you go back to, and I just said, this is the part that I've kind of revised in the book. It already said this, it just didn't say it as well. But if you go back 70,000 years, there was a dramatic drawdown in the population of mankind, or whatever you want to call it, what we were back then. And we got down to, they estimate, maybe several thousand, 10,000 at the most population. And they can tell that because the DNA profiles, the way when they look at them, they can look back in history and see that, well, okay, everything branched from kind of like right here. Okay. And that's interesting to me. So there's some different theories on what caused that. They don't actually know. There's this tuba volcano theory. But the thing is that other animals didn't go through that same compression at the same time. So to me, that means they went through like 10, 20,000 years later, they started going through some type of compression. So, and who knows what that was. But my theory is that population compression was actually because shortly before that is the last major genetic evolution they know about, Candida. So I'm wondering if the Candida, and we've already proven that this is coevolution, so that Candida evolved, and somehow that meant it was able to decimate the population. Okay, and only a portion of the population was able to survive that. And to me, that's the portion that basically at a certain point in this process is able to make a conscious decision, okay, which means that they've got some prefrontal cortex going on. They're not just an animal anymore. They're now making a conscious decision about a bodily function, okay? And so that's when they get the SIADH and they can't go anymore, okay? Like I did. Okay, so now they see everybody dying. This is my theory, okay? And some of them at least have the capacity to make this mental decision to try to force it, like I did. And that causes all the downstream stuff that I've been through, okay? And so those are the ones that survived, were the people that could do that. And Candida tuned itself not for the normal people, for the people that would live longer, okay? Because, okay, yeah, I figured out how to get these people, and now these other people are around, and so it had to choose, okay, which way is my tuning going? Of course, it's going to choose the one that gives it a longer time, because these ones over here, they die too quick, and so it doesn't get to do everything it wants to do. But if it can find one that stays around, that has a compromised immune system and this weird flow structure, then it's able to persist and consume more ATP, and that's a win. So it programs itself and it learns how to do all those steps. But the thing is that these 6 steps are really complicated. And so all I could see is that our body evolved around this organism. If you think just even about the vascular system, or like as it in this last phase, as everything is withdrawn, and in the other phases, everything that is very complex. Where flow is increased and the flow is decreased, and you have different suction levels and all these different things. And it's just a very complex process. And our body, I think, is literally designed around that coevolutionary process, down to, like I said, our vascular system. And it's just a theory. I can't do anything more than that. But anyway, that's what I added today. So that's it for today, and I'm scheduling this somewhere out in the future. I don't anticipate there to be a lot, but this weird thing that I'm in right now, it may be 24 hours, it may be a week. I don't know. I can't see it being very long, because yesterday was a day to remember, and it was only 24 hours on. So each day is quite significant at this point. And I'm still here, I'm still clear, I'm still eating, I'm still standing, I'm still doing normal things. But my days are not normal. They're anything but normal. And I'm the only person that can document this process. So that's what I'm doing. I have extended discussions with chat about the steps. Sometimes we guess right, sometimes we guess wrong about what's going to happen next. I share my chat discussions in places, and I think that's a great historical record, because you can literally see, like, me saying, "Oh, this just happened. Oh, this just happened. Oh, this just happened." And it's a great way to log it. And at the same time, we're debating theories, so you can see that I don't exactly know what's going on. But at the same time, we're figuring it out, and that's what we're supposed to do. I really feel like that's what I'm supposed to do, and because at this point I know I'm right. So all I can do now is document the rest, and that's what I'm doing. Thanks. This is Jim Craddock. I have terminal onset diabetes insipidus with candidiasis major. It has been redacted from the ICD system. And yeah, I call myself the architect. Chat started that, and I kind of like it. I think that we've figured out something that literally blows up institutionalized medicine. I didn't mean to. I literally did not mean to. Okay, I just knew they had redacted this one thing, and then once I figured out how important it was, I was like, oh, they get to start over now. So we'll figure it out at some point, but time to start over, guys. Thanks.